Hi, I'm Nikki.
I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Jamie.
And this is America's Asses, a gal cast. All right, ladies. Week 2.
I was trying not to laugh so hard.
I know.
That's what you just have to cut out, is just us giggling.
No. The giggle stays in. That just shows people that we're really friends. Hello.
True.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
All right, Alyssa. This is
Alrighty,
your week, baby. Episode 2.
Oh my goodness. So we survived episode 1. Now we're on episode 2. And we start off with the recap of last week's episode. Mm-hmm. And then we open to Wanda and Vision sleeping in separate twin beds, which is very Lucy and Ricky-like. Vision is wearing a mask. He's sleeping, and Wanda's in her bed.
Like a
My
sleep
question
mask,
was,
right?
Yes, the sleep mask.
Sleep mask.
Does he really need it? That's what I wanted to know.
Does he even sleep?
Does he sleep, and does he need the eye mask? Really? Can't he just see through it?
Seriously, he's a computer.
Right. So what does he need to sleep?
Hey, even computers need a reboot once in a while, ladies.
This is true.
Yeah, and we'll see that soon.
Right? Yeah.
They're in bed. They hear a sound, and Wanda keeps turning the lights on and off with her powers. Vision realizes that she's turning the lights on and off, so he gets out of bed, looks out the windows to see what's out there, and all he sees are her lovely rose bushes, as he says.
Oh, wait, I got a tidbit.
What?
I forgot. The 2-bed thing, this episode, as we covered last week, this episode reflects Bewitched. From the cartoon opening and later on in the episode where they turned to color, because when Bewitched started, it started in black and white and then it went to color. Samantha and Darren were the first couple to be filmed with one bed. They had 2 beds for a long time and then...
Oh, you know what? You're right.
They were the first one. The more you know. Ding.
I honestly forgot about that.
That's great. Yeah. Makes sense. I just love the line that she says when he's looking outside. She goes to him, "Are you using your night vision?" Which I totally thought was lame, but so funny.
And he's like, "Oh,
awesome. How cheesy." And then you hear that audience laughing. Where's the audience laughing from? That's one of my other questions. All right. Well, where's the laugh track coming from?
It's just an homage to 50s, like Lucy. Lucy was not
sitcom.
Yeah, Lucy was not filmed in front of a live studio audience. They had laugh tracks. Yeah, they all did the laugh tracks back then. Okay. So I don't think we need to look that much into the laughing. I think that's just watch.
See,
that's
going back to us over analyzing everything.
Right. This means something.
That's what we do. What else is new? As we go
but that's
on,
why we love you.
Yes.
Yeah. Vision is looking outside and doesn't see anything, and then hears another thud and jumps right back into bed. And they talked about how Vision had heard at work about vandalization from his coworkers, and Wanda brings up their powers and wonders if it has anything to do with them. You know, if they were talking about people, you know, walking through walls and moving things and stuff like that.
Sure. Right.
But they were talking about like burglaries and, you know, vandalization and stuff like that. So we'll kind of get to that later. Mm-hmm. But they hear another sound and Wanda pushes their beds together. And then she finds out what is outside, and it's really just a tree branch against the window. So then they all get all cozy and she turns the light off with her magic. Then we get the opening with the cartoon moon and stars around it. And did you notice that the stars become the shape of a hexagon?
Yes, I did. I've been looking at hexagons everywhere.
Yes, they are. They're like flying around just like Bewitched, and then they land in front of a billboard that says, "Welcome to Westview, home. It's where you make it."
Ah, I couldn't see what it said. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Love it. Which is, yeah, the whole premise.
What's your tidbit?
My tidbit is when she lands and when she's in the grocery store, if you look up at the top, it says Bova milk. So Bova, she was just a cow / human. And she was the midwife for when Wanda and Pietro were born. She was
yep, I knew that too.
Hey,
okay.
I didn't.
I haven't been reading the comics. I'm not super new to this, but I did not know that.
Girl, please. None of us are. We are all MCU fans from MCU. I don't know these things. You know how I know? I asked Mr. Big. And you know how I know? I do the Googler. Okay?
I was going to say, I go down the rabbit hole.
Uh-huh.
Girl,
I asked brother 1 and brother 2.
Like, we don't know everything. We're not, like, geniuses about it, you know? But we're learning along the way. All of us.
We are.
We're learning and we're having fun.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yep. All right. So, I'm so sorry for interrupting.
No, you're fine. So we continue on with the beginning. As you said, Wanda's at the grocery store and Vision's at work. And then you see him driving home. And as he's driving through the neighborhood, all the characters that we've seen before in the first episode are all singing WandaVision, 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 WandaVision.
I want it to be my new ringtone. Wouldn't it be awesome?
I've had that song stuck in my head all day. But I love it. The beginning's over and we see them in the house and the house looks completely different. Not the Dick Van Dyke looking house anymore. Now it looks like the Bewitched house.
It is the Bewitched house.
Furniture's changed the whole house. They're talking about the talent show.
Yeah, the talent show for the children.
Children.
You notice they started putting more emphasis on kids. The talent show is for the children.
Oh yeah.
And how in episode 1, Mrs. Hart had said, "Oh, how come a young little thing like you doesn't have kids?"
True. You know,
so I feel like they keep circling back to it.
I didn't catch that. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yep. This means something.
That either. Everything means something.
Mm-hmm.
So
True.
Vision is going to be the magician, Illusion, and Wanda is going to be his assistant, Glamour. And so she brings in like the vanishing cabinet. And did you notice that the Mind Stone is on the outside of the cabinet?
Yes, I did. I got a tidbit.
Tidbit, Nikki.
It's the Googler. You learn all these rabbit hole things. So their names for the talent show, Illusion and Glamour, in the Vision and Scarlet Witch comics, Illusion and Glamour are characters of their own, and they're magicians.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, their names are Ilya and Glynis Zarkov. They were friendly neighbors, but it turned out that they were real magicians. They were really doing their own magic, but not for good, for bad.
Okay.
They were international criminals. So like they'd steal diamonds and money and stuff. But that's just a tip of the hat to them. I doubt they're going to show up if they're going.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was just a little nod.
That's a good one.
Hey, guess what? Mr. Big, I don't think he knows that tidbit. Oh, I bet you he does. He knows a lot and he doesn't boast like I do. He's more reserved than I.
Bring it up, being all excited. Did you hear it? Did you know this? Yeah. What else?
He's like, yeah, back in 72.
Yeah. old news here. So the talent show, as we had said, is for the children. And Wanda wants to do this because she really wants to fit in with this community. Wanda says she's going to go to the planning committee, and then Vision wants to go to the library for the neighborhood watch meeting with the guys. Mm-hmm. And he wants to make sure security is up to snuff in the neighborhood after what happened the night before. Mr. Scaredy Cat. We see Wanda washing dishes again, and then she goes into the family room and she hears a thud, another thud, and she walks outside, doesn't see anything, dun dun dun, but then she finds a red drone, an actual red drone helicopter in her bushes.
Yeah.
And it's
But
red,
it's not just red this time.
Nope, it's red and yellow, and it has the number 57 on it, which I don't know what that means.
I do.
And then we
I
also
looked it
see
up.
the store logo. Of course, Nikki knows what it is.
It's not that I know, it's that I do use the Googler. All right.
Yes.
So the Googler told me Avengers number 57 in 1968 was the first appearance of Vision.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was, so it's just a tip of the hat to Vision's first appearance in the Avengers
I was going to say, because the helicopter, like we were saying, it's red and yellow, which whose suit is red and yellow?
Right, it's Stark Industries.
And Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And it all circles back to the very first commercial from episode 1.
This means something.
So as Wanda's looking at the helicopter, our trusty, lovely neighbor Agnes startles her and shows up with her rabbit, Senor Scratchy, for the show.
Which
and
I
her and Wanda.
Does
Senor Scratchy mean anything?
I don't think so. I think it's just a great name.
It is. That's why I was like, is this just really goofy, or does this mean something?
No, I think it's just goofy because it's Agnes.
Right? Wanda puts the rabbit inside, and they start walking down the street to go to the planning meeting. And Agnes tells Wanda that Dottie is the key to everything in this town. I want to know, what does that mean?
Okay.
Nikki's got something.
I want to backtrack, because when Agnes brings Senor Scratchy to Wanda, Wanda takes Senor Scratchy into the house. The camera stays on Agnes waiting for Wanda. And then here comes Dennis the mailman, right? The mailman.
Yeah.
He comes up and he goes, "Good morning, Agnes." And Agnes is like, "Good morning. Hey, stick him up." And she point finger guns at him. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just the messenger." But he looked very uncomfortable. As he's walking away, she totally checked him out. But also, he seemed somewhat compliant to Agnes. Have you ever worked with somebody who thinks they are big fish in a small pond, and they know it? They truly believe this. They feel they have the insider info, and everybody better be nice to them. The moment you're not, they're going to make your life a living hell. But they're that fake nice to you. Like, that's how I felt Agnes was. Agnes was like, "Hey, buddy, what up?" And giving finger guns and
like, trying to be cool, but she's not really cool with him.
Right. Leading me to think that she knows more, and she's just playing along.
It almost makes you think, like, is finger guns something as innocent as finger guns, or is it?
No, I don't think
so. Keep yourself in check.
I think it's a keep yourself in check kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly it, Jamie. I couldn't think what it was. She is making sure people are in check around Wanda and around the neighborhood. Maybe she's Wanda's security guard, something like that.
Well, that also leads up
I didn't take it like that, but I like that.
That makes sense, because when they're walking, Agnes goes to Wanda and tells her, when she's around Dottie, to mind her P's and Q's. And Wanda says that she could just be herself, more or less. And Agnes just kind of like pauses for a second and then gives her a weird look, and they awkwardly laugh it off.
Yeah, I have that in my notes too. Agnes knows something.
Agnes is talking to Wanda about Dottie being the key. She mentions country club memberships, parties, and school admissions, and kind of gives her a once-over when she says that, which I kind of thought that was a little weird.
It's in the script. Oh, it's in the script, ladies.
What?
Oh my god! I'm getting ahead of myself. It just clicked. So she gave her the once over. Remember in the other episode, she's like, "Do you want me to take it from the top?" It's all in the
exactly.
script.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nikki just had her epiphany moment.
Right?
This is the epiphany. All right. Oh my God. I love you girls so much. All right, go.
I love it.
Oh my God.
Wanda and Agnes are at the local pool club with everybody discussing the matters of the talent show that's going to happen later that afternoon. I got to say, I just love how Agnes just pulls out a flask just to spike the drink and keeps saying, I wonder
She's my kind of lady.
Sober. I was like,
I was just about to say.
That would totally be me, the one talking,
I was just about to say.
getting in trouble.
The three of us would have 3 full flasks, okay?
For sure.
So then as Dottie's talking and being aggravated that Wanda's interrupting things, she says that they're planning all of this for the children, and then all at once the group of ladies respond very monotone, for the children. Wanda says it after the fact.
Wait, stop. All of us say it like them on the count of 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. For the children.
For the children.
There's a delay.
Sorry,
You can't do it. Oh, well. Continue. I'm sorry. I love
Dear
you
God.
so much.
I didn't know we were going to say it that slow. I know we were going to say, for the children. I thought we were going to say it like them. Didn't know where that was going.
This is going to be comedy gold, ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Right?
I'm sorry, Alyssa. I'm sorry. Go ahead. This is staying in, just to let you know.
We're not even at commercial break.
I know. Go. All right. We're going to go.
Okay. So Wanda introduces herself to a woman there, and she says she doesn't know why she's there. And Wanda says, I don't know why I'm here either. And when Wanda introduces herself, says, I'm Wanda, and asks the other woman's name, she kind of pauses and said, I'm Geraldine.
Did you notice, like, she did not know who she was until she actually touched her?
Yes.
I'm not.
She just kind of like, wait, I don't know what is my name. Like, she kind of forgot her name there for a second.
Wait, Alyssa or Jamie, which one of you? I just said which, like I'm an old white guy. Which one of you guys told me that? Because I think one of you put that little seed in my brain, and when I rewatched it, I noticed it. Did one of you notice it earlier? No.
About, I think, Geraldine?
Yes. About her not knowing who she is until she touches Wanda.
No, I did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did last week.
Okay, that's it. All right, go ahead. I'm not anything important, though.
Meanwhile, we see Vision going into the public library to meet with the neighborhood watch. When he interrupts the group, they look at him very funny and they say it's a members only meeting. Vision starts yammering about all these different protocols, and the guys really only want to talk about Danish and gossip because they're women.
Because they're 3 South Side broads. Hello?
Yeah, right? Apparently.
Who doesn't want to gossip in Danish?
Yeah.
Come on.
When one of them offers Vision something to eat, he mentions, oh, I don't eat. And then he's like looking around, and then they all start laughing because they think it's a joke, even though he's serious.
Yeah, he doesn't eat.
He's like, well, I eat all the other times of the day, normal times, just not in between meals. One of the guys offers Vision a piece of gum. He was like, well, I thought you don't eat. Well, yeah. I could eat gum. Is gum really food? He chews the gum, starts chewing the gum, and they're all joking. And the one says, oh, you're so funny, Vision, and pats him on the back. Well, of course, he swallows the gum. And then we see like this cartoon version of Vision, and the gum just goes down his stomach and, gums up his gears, and it's all stuck.
I'm taking a page out of Nikki's book. I have a tidbit.
Woo!
The gum is big red gum. Again, we have another reference to red.
Oh.
So does that, is it anything more than that? I don't know.
It means something.
Everything.
What I'm not sure, but it means something.
All right. Yeah, I should be taking notes.
So we're back at the pool and Wanda's helping. What?
So I'll take notes when I edit.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
We're back at the pool club and Wanda's helping Dottie clean up, which, she's so thankful for. Dottie is so annoyed and she sticks out her tongue behind Dottie's back, which I thought was so funny. They're talking about getting off on the wrong foot and Dottie's very snippy and says that she heard things about Wanda and Vision. And this is where it gets interesting. Wanda says she means no harm and Dottie goes, I don't believe you. Then the radio that's next to them while they're talking starts to crackle and we hear the song Help Me Wanda and a voice repeatedly says, who is doing this to you? And Dottie asks her, who are you? Just then the radio explodes and the glass that Dottie is holding breaks in her hand. And when you look at her hand, there's actual red blood from her hand. But then all of a sudden she just kind of stops and plays it off like nothing happened.
Right.
Even though this glass just broke in her hand and she's bleeding everywhere.
Let's unpack. Can we unpack?
So this is the second time we've seen color in this episode.
Something of note, I think we may have to go back to. It was 1:17 p.m. Don't know if it's BS or over analyzing, but the clock said 1:17 when it first appeared at the beginning of the scene, and it was still 1:17 when after all that went down, before it exploded.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And then Dottie says, who is that? Who are you? And that's when she basically tried to expose Wanda, right? Who are you? Just like...
And then when Wanda gets threatened, bad things happen.
Yeah.
Right, just like at dinner or at breakfast. No.
Yes.
Brupper. Like at Brupper before. When anybody starts threatening her, something happens to them.
That's of note. And the blood looks so beautiful. The beautiful shade of red.
Oh, yeah. Commercial time.
Woo!
So we see her and the woman all dressed up, ready to go. Did you notice that they are the same couple that were in the commercial in the first episode?
Yep.
Oh, yes, I did.
The announcer is saying a man is never fully dressed without his important accessory, which is a watch, a Strucker watch, which we all know is the German scientist who experimented on Wanda and her brother Pietro in Sokovia.
That is something I did not have to Google. You know why?
Same here.
Because I watched the movies. Because I watched Winter Soldier and Ultron. That's why. Go ahead. Continue.
Google are not necessary.
Google is not necessary here.
So tagline, Strucker, he'll make time for you. And did you notice that they show the watch. It's Swiss made by Hydra, and it has the Hydra logo. But did you notice that the hands are pointed to 8 and between the 2 and the 3? So going back to reference 8/23, which was August 23rd, like in the first episode.
Oh my God! Alyssa! Woo!
So we're referencing that. We're referencing that issue, issue 2 or 8/23.
Oh boy, you are cracking the code.
Yeah.
So that's now 2 episodes in a row.
Yes. So 8/23 means something.
Yeah.
So we're back at the talent show. and everybody's doing their skits. And Geraldine is behind the scenes, making sure the show is running smoothly. And Wanda's freaking out because Vision is not there. And then all of a sudden you see him stumbling in like he's drunk, which is hilarious.
Wait, did anybody catch Mrs. Hart was there for the children?
Yes.
But not Mr. Hart.
No. There weren't any couples.
Maybe he was at work.
Could be. She's trying to tell him what happened earlier with Dottie, but he's so drunk, air quotes, and isn't paying attention enough to get what she's meaning. So Dottie's out there thanking the crowd and coming out for the children. And the audience replies in the same monotone.
For
the children. Oh, Jesus Christ.
How are we doing this?
Oh, Jesus. There's no way. It's not happening.
Anywho, Wanda and Vision come out as the last act. And Vision's getting everything backwards and is using his powers, but Wanda keeps using her powers. And they're
time out. Did you notice the first quote trick that Vision does? He levitates. He goes straight up. They cut to Agnes's face and she looks horrified, worried. What the F are they doing? And then when Wanda conjures up a pulley system, Agnes has such a look of relief on her face. It was just something of note to go back to our theory of possible bodyguard.
Yeah, I did notice her face, but I kind of didn't seem as important, but it totally makes sense. Absolutely. They're doing the pulley, and then he tries to lift up the piano, and she makes it look like it's just a cardboard and stuff like that, and does a terrible card trick with one of the neighbors. And he pulls out his hat, which Senor Scratchy was supposed to come out of it, but she wanted to leave the poor rabbit out of it. So he takes the hat and he's like, well, I'm just going to put this hat through me. And then she makes it look like there's mirrors doing the trick. Yeah, because that's how he could totally just put it through him with mirrors. Right. But everybody's just like, oh, ha, 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 that's hilarious. Vision's doing a great job at slapstick and being drunk. And they show Dottie a couple times looking completely non-amused. Also notice, if she cut her hand a couple hours earlier, there's no bandage or anything on her hand. Her hand looks completely fine.
Either it's Hollywood magic or analyzing.
Yeah, exactly. It's not in the script.
Us do that? Never.
Right? Alas, their final trick, which is the vanishing cabinet. Vision's supposed to make Wanda disappear, but in his drunk stupor, doesn't give her time to get into the cabinet before he says abracadabra. She's kind of looking at him like, wait, what are we doing? Because I'm out here and I'm supposed to be in there. And then all of a sudden the crowd starts chanting, what's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? And then they open it and Geraldine just pops out of it. She's kind of like looking around like, what the hell just happened?
She looks super confused as to how that all happened.
Did you guys catch? Okay, so I liked Agnes in this episode. She wasn't as annoying to me. She was funny, and I think she gave us very valid clues. When they were looking for somebody to put in the box, she heckles and she goes, "Are you sure
my husband Ralph?"
Yeah, she goes, "Oh, are you sure you don't want an audience volunteer named my husband Ralph?" And then
we've never seen.
What's in the box? Ralph has got to be somebody.
Ralph, but keeps mentioning him.
I bet you he shows up sometime. There's theories out there that are just, I don't want to, it's too early in our podcast for me to, but as you can see,
I agree.
I read these theories and I have a different tune about Agnes than I did the last episode.
So, yeah, you were like anti-Agnes.
Hated her.
Yeah, right.
Still don't like her, but she serves a purpose.
We just don't know what that purpose is yet.
Right.
They go behind the curtain, and Wanda finally figures out that Vision has gum stuck in his stomach gears. And then we see the cartoon version of Vision's gears, and it comes back up, and he spits out the gum. She's a telekinetic, isn't she? Couldn't she read his mind and figure out what was going on?
He's a robot. Can she read his mind?
But this begs the question, though. Is he dead because he doesn't have the Mind Stone? So how can she read his mind?
Right.
Oh, is that why she read it? Because he's not technically alive?
Good theory, Jamie. Very good theory.
After that, they try and sneak off before Dottie catches them and says, "Stop them! This is the first time this talent show has ever been hilarious. You guys are hilarious." And they're completely shocked, and they go up on stage, and everybody's applauding them, and they're like, "Come on, Geraldine, come on with us. You know, you were part of the act too." And then she's looking at them, like, kind of whispers to them while they're on stage, and she goes, "Okay, 1 minute I was standing there, and then I was in this dark hole. What the hell just happened to me? I had no idea what was going on." And he's like, "A magician never reveals his secrets, only his assistant." And she's like, "I'm not saying anything." So, all right, well, I just kind of ended up in a box, and nobody's going to tell me what the hell happened. All right. Then Norm announces, "This is all for the children." And again, they respond,
For
the children.
But
oh my God.
Children. There's no children at this thing.
There are no children at all.
No.
Yeah.
Which is weird because this is for the children. They get back to the house and they have their little hilarious trophy because they had the best talent, talking about how it really wasn't so hard to fit in. All of a sudden, they say, well, since the talent show was for the children, she gets up and says, "The children want some popcorn." Her and Vision look at each other, all confused, and then all of a sudden, Wanda has a pregnant belly.
Woo!
Like, what?
That's how I felt. No joke. I was showing before the first trimester was out. I was showing big time. I was a moose.
Well, you did have two.
You're right. I did have two in there. But one was a super preemie. Like, she was only 4 pounds when she was born. So the other one was fully sized, fully cooked.
So all of a sudden, okay, Wanda's pregnant. And they look at each other and she goes to him, "Is this really happening?" And he said, "Yes, my love." And then all of a sudden, we hear another sound outside. So they go running to investigate. Vision goes out first, and then Wanda follows him, but then is coming toward the sidewalk. Wouldn't a husband, obviously, who just found out that his wife's pregnant, guard her? But anyway, So all of a sudden, we hear the noise, and there is a guy or something is coming up through the manhole cover in the middle of the street, and we see bees coming around him, and he's in this guy's in a bee costume, and he's coming out of the manhole, and all of a sudden he just turns to look at them, and Wanda sees the guy and says no, and the whole picture reverses. We just rewind a video camera or a tape, and they go back to the part where she's talking to Vision and says, "Is this real?" And then they kiss, and all of a sudden we look at Vision and he's red again, his natural red. Start to see color through the whole house.
Did you guys see Vision break the third wall? He looked at the camera as from black and white into color. He looked at the camera. It is a split second, but he looked at the camera.
Yes, he did.
Like dead in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Everything's that color, and Wanda's wearing a red outfit, and they kiss, and then we go back to the same hexagon outline.
Yep.
Goes blank, and we hear a man saying, "Do you know, Wanda, who is doing this to you?" And then the episode ends.
Oh, so good.
Okay, so let's rewind back to the beekeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beekeeper, as in same as the first episode, we noticed that the beekeeper has a connection to Sword also because that's on his beekeeper suit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The logo's on the back of his suit.
And then I feel like Wanda notices that, and that's when she's like, no, I'm not accepting this as reality. Let me get back into that house where things were just perfect when I found out I was having a baby.
Yeah.
Like, this is not happening. I'm going to keep it all happy and cheery.
She's like, retake.
Yeah, take 2.
Absolutely. It was way better rewatching it. Well, I've watched it a couple times, but man, ever since we started over analyzing this, it is so much better.
Now we know what to look for.
Yeah, that's
And
a couple episodes
yeah,
ahead.
Absolutely. Did we notice that when the sitcom started to change from black and white to color, that Wanda was wearing majority of the color scarlet, as in Scarlet Witch?
Oh, yeah.
That's all she wears is red.
Red. A beautiful blood red.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So what do we got for questions for clarity, ladies?
Where are the kids?
Where are the children? All right, so where are the children?
Does Vision sleep?
Does Vision sleep? Yeah, okay. That's a great one.
I mean, he doesn't eat, so why should he sleep?
Right?
Exactly.
It's like Bender from Futurama. He doesn't sleep. He just stands in a closet for 8 hours.
Kind of like you?
Yeah. Me? Yes. Next week, ladies, this will be a lot thinner. I got to get rid of some clothes. I got to
Oh, my God.
Okay. So does Vision sleep? Any other questions? Who is talking to her?
Through the radio.
Yeah. Who's talking to her through the radio? And
where the hell did the beekeeper come from?
And he's obviously Sword.
But I want to know where he went when he comes out and she rewinds it.
Right. Well, no, she omitted that part where they heard the sound and went outside.
It reverted back to them being in the living room.
Yeah. And then they didn't go back outside because that's not part of her reality anymore.
Like they didn't do a retake. Yeah. She just rewound and essentially deleted that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question. I just thought about it. I think I need to go back and look. Does everybody still have the same name as in episode 1 and 2? The support characters? Do they all have the same name?
So far, everyone they've mentioned hasn't changed.
Okay.
Yeah. How did the house completely change and nobody noticed?
Because she's the Scarlet Witch. She's got powers that way, you know? I mean,
because it's not like they're changing locations. I feel like it's the interior is changing from episode 1 to episode 2.
Me too.
It's not like they have a whole new house on a different street. I feel like it's the same house, but the inside is different.
Funny you should say. I have a question. What their address is like 2900 is the number on their
2800?
house.
28 or 29?
I gotta do the Googler. That's going to be on my homework list. What does that mean? Because
remember something that it means, like a certain issue.
Does it? Okay. Probably anything numbered.
Because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I feel like this is really deep rooted in comics.
Oh, yes.
Hence where the Googler comes into play.
I love this show so much. I dare say it's better than Bridgerton. Just saying. I know. It's but
oh god, they're on like so completely opposite levels though.
Bridgerton.
God, I don't know that I can say one more than the other. They're just different.
I do love me some Bridgerton. Oh,
that same.
Man. Woo, I'm on the 4th book already. I have read the first 4. The first 3 books I have finished. I'm in the middle of the 4th book. I am like invested. Huh?
Didn't it just come out like on New Year's? When did
yeah, but the books have been around for a long time.
I know, but you just read 4 books in like 2 months.
Audio books, baby. Audio books. You think I'm listening to my kid's teacher? No, I got I got steamy hot book settings in my ear going in my ear while I'm helping my kid do long division.
You know what? That might be the only way you get through.
It's called multitasking.
I was going to say, when do you have time to sit around and read a book?
I don't. You me? I do not.
Well, that's why I was so confused. I was like, how did you read that? I don't even have time to do that. And I don't have kids.
Listen, I love you. 3,000.
I love you too.
Oh, I gotta pee.
Don't make me cry.
I gotta pee. I'll see you later.
Sounds good.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.